Hello, I'm Brenda Martin with Inside Huntsville, and thanks for joining me today. I'm really excited about today's show. We're going to begin a series on higher education in the city of Huntsville, and we're going to start with our two-year institutions. JF Drake State Community and Technical College is a student-centered two-year public institution of higher education. It offers certificates and associate degrees. And here to share more of that information about its history, about its mission and activities, and what JF Drake, what the unique fit for that community college is Dr. Helen McAlpine, the president of the college. Welcome, Dr. McAlpine.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here.
Thanks for coming here. The one thing that I want to ask, let's see, you're the third or fourth president?
Third president.
And the first female?
That's correct.
Okay. JF Drake has a unique history. Can you share a little bit about that with us?
Sure. Our college was founded in 1961, and it was, quite frankly, a trade school.
Oh.
And then over the years, it developed into a technical college. And now we're very proud of the designation as a community and technical college. In fact, the very first in the state of Alabama. One of our nearby states, Kentucky, has a number of, in fact, all of their two-year colleges are community and technical colleges. Mm-hmm. And that's important because we embrace the community aspect, which means that students can transfer seamlessly from JF Drake into a four-year institution anywhere in the country.
Okay, great.
But the technical piece is very, very unique and important for Huntsville, Alabama. People in Huntsville have to be so proud of what is happening in our city. Businesses are coming into the area, and our college is uniquely linked to many of those training needs for those companies. Mm-hmm. And so it's very exciting for us that we can play both roles. We can provide students that learning that's important for transferring to four-year institutions, but also train individuals in the Huntsville neighboring areas. And these individuals can fill those very important needs that businesses, current businesses, new businesses are bringing to this marvelous city of Huntsville, Alabama.
So that's the uniqueness of the college, correct?
I absolutely believe that is unique. That's something that that others do. Of course, we're part of the Alabama Community College system, and there are others that can do it. But to be located right here in Huntsville, the city that is viewed as one of the most progressive cities in the country.
That's great. That's exactly right. But another thing I'd like to talk a little bit about is when you talk about the uniqueness, you've got two locations.
We have two locations, and certainly it is our plan to advance that. We are at the downtown site.
Talk a little bit about that.
That is one of I think one of the best things we've done. We are clearly located in the core area, the hub of Huntsville, Alabama. Mm-hmm. We're there, and we have many of our students who attend programs there, and we offer a variety. We offer many of our general ed courses that are those that are typically used to augment what the student gets in the technical program, but those are also the ones that students take that transfer them seamlessly into four-year institutions. But we offer culinary arts classes down there. The theory classes are there. We offer courses that are associated with our cybersecurity program, the computer information systems program, and students love it. They absolutely love the downtown area, and I believe the mayor has said numerous times that he enjoys it too, and we certainly view the city of Huntsville and the mayor as partners with JF Drake.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, now, why should a student consider a post-secondary education, and what are the potentials for success with a two-year community college degree?
Well, I think that without a doubt, the affordability of the two-year college is very attractive for parents. Training at a college or university today is very expensive. Mm-hmm. And even people with a whole lot of money are looking always, I think, for what is affordable, but also what is meaningful for my child. And so I think that, and quite frankly, the President of the United States, along with the U.S. Department of Ed and many others, have touted the real value of the community college. It is not a takeaway from four-year institutions. I'm a product of three very good four-year institutions: an HBCU, Talladega College, Jacksonville State University, and Roll Tide, the University of Alabama.
Okay.
So I am a proponent for four-year colleges and universities. We have a marvelous relationship with those in our area. But it is affordable. It is for many students, it presents smaller classes. For our college, which is a small college, we know every student at Drake.
Okay.
I mean, it is very much hands-on, and it's a family, and we know them, and so they're just that affordability. For many students, they are not ready to leave the city. They're not quite ready to leave home.
Sure.
It's a commuter campus, and so those are reasons that matter both to students and to their parents.
Mm-hmm. Now, my next question, I know you can speak for hours on this, because under your leadership and you and your staff have certainly made a difference in this community. But what is Drake's relevance in the city of Huntsville and Madison County area?
I think that JF Drake, as I stated earlier, has been in this community for over 50 years. It started, as I indicated earlier, as a trade school. The technical piece is very, very important for this community. When you think about the programs that we have, for instance, culinary arts, and sometimes people just kind of say, well, yeah, that is a major business. When we moved to Huntsville back in '89, there were several restaurants, but certainly nowhere near the magnitude of restaurants that we have today. We did everything at the Fall Cutter.
That's right. That's
birthdays
exactly right.
and anniversaries. And now we have so many choices.
Yeah, that's right.
And our students are not just being trained to go in and wait at tables. We're teaching management skills. Mm-hmm. It's fascinating for me when they have activities there on the campus, and they're grading, the second-year students are grading the first-year students. And they are providing and they're being graded as well, but they're providing that management experience right there in our program. I'm a member of the White House Initiative Board on HBCUs,
yes.
And we have a lot of activities on the campus, but when I brought them and we've used a lot of the catering services in town, but now the catering at JF Drake State Community and Technical College is done by the Culinary Arts Program. Now, what I would invest in them for the board from the White House Initiative, bringing in some of the most outstanding folk in the country.
Yes.
And our Culinary Arts Program provided that. So that is, and then one of the things that I think is sometimes missed about Drake, we provide so many entrepreneurs for this city. See, many of our students become business owners. We have an HVAC program. Many of the HVAC companies in this city are manned by individuals who receive their training at Drake. Mm-hmm. Cosmetology. And people sometimes laugh about, kind of say, well, cosmetology. And I said, that's a recession-proof business.
That's exactly right.
Now, I'm going to get my hair done if I don't eat. That's a recession-proof.
That's right.
So many of the cosmetologists and the owners are individuals who receive training through a cosmetology program at Drake or at some other institution of note. And I could go on and on with the programs, the business programs. These folks become entrepreneurs. I've said to the mayor many times, Mayor, we're providing you many revenues for this city because these small business owners, and we all know that that's the talk in the country, the support that is provided by small business owners.
By small business.
Very
important.
It's absolutely important.
So then, what are some of the unique experiences of your students? I was going to ask you to share a little bit more about your programs, but I think you covered a lot of that. But what are some of the unique experiences of your students, and where are your graduates today?
Gosh, they're everywhere. As I stated, many of them have businesses.
Okay.
But we have students all over the country. There's a young man who received his PhD from UA Huntsville who is now working in Boston in a very reputable position doing some optical engineering. We just have students everywhere.
Everywhere.
And they are making us proud. We have Bill Curtis, who is a native here, and he has the most marvelous story to tell about him driving a beer truck.
Oh, really?
And passed by Drake and decided I need to do something differently with my life. And this fella now is in management at a very high level. We've had many of our students, while students at Drake, to participate in what is an emerging leaders conference or activity where it was an emerging engineering program because it was done through one of our engineering technology program. And those students competed with students from reputable institutions all over this country. I'm talking about the Hamptons and the University of Alabama and Howard University and Purdue and all of these others.
Okay.
And we managed to win in one category. These were students, and there were only about 5 or 6 community colleges that participated. We won 3rd place one year and we won 1st place. That's JF Drake. We have students right now who are participating in an LSAMP program that is being orchestrated by Louis Stokes, who was a legislator, a member of Congress congressman for many years.
Yes.
And our students are making presentations at major conferences as a result of that. And one of our students, and it's very interesting, she is a culinary arts student, and as a result of this experience, this young lady who is an outstanding student is now postured to receive her PhD. That is her goal and she is an exceptional student and will do well. I could talk forever about the real progress made by these students, and I have to commend that faculty, that incredible faculty and incredible staff. We have very high standards, and we demand that they do well. And they have to.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
I mean, they have to.
They have to.
And they measure up. They walk in and if they come in and accept our culture, and it is a culture of advancement. We have so many folks at Drake who are in doctoral programs at reputable institutions.
Oh, great, yes.
And individuals who come in with a high school diploma as a secretary, and now they have their associate degrees, and many of them are moving on and getting their bachelor's degrees and even master's degrees.
Yes.
So we've tried to develop a culture of advancement, of doing well, excelling, and not letting somebody else define you.
Who you are. Yes. Yes.
And I get choked up talking about it because I see it every day.
Yes. I mentioned earlier your leadership skills in making Drake what it is today, but what were the motivating factors that simply led you into the field of education? And I know that in itself is a whole program. Okay, we can talk 30 minutes on that, but and also while you're answering that question, talk about what made you decide to apply for the presidency. What were you thinking?
Oh, that's interesting. I became interested in education very early on, and there were several reasons for that. I'm not a young person. I have some years on me, and quite frankly, well, I appreciate that. But during that time when I was making that decision, there were very few opportunities for African Americans.
Okay.
And I'm, in Gadsden, Alabama, and many of my classmates chose to not attend college, but rather to go to work at the Goodyear plant there and the Republic Steel plant.
Yes.
But I was intrigued by my teachers in elementary school. I attended an all-black Catholic school, and we were taught by Caucasian nuns who came in from Boston and New York, the New York area. And so I was just fascinated with them, and they wore their habits.
Yes.
And so I decided about 3rd grade that I wanted to be a nun.
Okay.
But I discovered that they couldn't marry. So I said, I don't want this now. I want to be a teacher, but
I'm not
I
gonna
want
be
to get
a
married.
nun.
I want to have what my parents have,
Yes,
a
yes.
marvelous marriage.
Relationship, yes.
And so, but they, I found out from somewhere that you could still be a teacher. Although that was my exposure, these nuns.
Sure.
For 8 years. But in 3rd grade, it was the turning point for me that I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I liked what they did.
Yes.
And I'm from a very large family. And whenever when it was my turn to decide what we would do, how we would play, because my parents were very careful, that we were very guarded. They guarded us, and we played in the yard. And if we went across the street or whatever, when it started getting dark, we had to be at home.
Okay.
But when it was my turn to say what we were going to do, I was going to be the teacher and they were going to be the student. So I got practice. But what led me? So that led me into I knew that was what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And I did well in English. I graduated salutatorian in my class, but I loved English. Loved my English teacher. So I in fact went to college a music major and changed my mind and decided to major in English. Because the music program was a 5-year program, and I had siblings at home, and I knew my parents said, "You're gonna graduate in 4 years,
Okay.
or you're going to work." But to go to Drake, it was not at. I was retired, had worked for 30 years in K-12, and I prayed to the good Lord and said, "What would you have me do with the rest of my life?" And it was as if the Lord said, "Drake," and I said, "Lord, is that your final answer?" And the Lord obviously conveyed to my heart that it was. And people started calling. It was amazing. Why don't you? Will you, apply and become the president of Drake? And I wasn't quite there. And I continued to pray about it, and I know it was the right place for me. I know now without a shadow of a doubt that was my calling.
That's your calling.
And I'm delighted. I just absolutely fell in love with the college, and I remain a lover of that college and the people there.
Now, how long have you been there?
14 years.
14 years already.
14 years.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
just celebrated 14 years, December 1.
Time does pass.
Absolutely.
Quickly. Geez. Approximately 2.5 years, I'd like for you to speak to this, ago, Drake State received the distinction as a SACS COC institution. Now, tell us what that means.
Well, SACS COC stands for Southern Association for Colleges and Schools.
Okay.
Commission on Colleges. Our awesome leader is Dr. Bill Whelan, who is an African-American female who's had numerous experiences in the field of education. In fact, we just had our annual meeting. SACS designation for us is significant, although many of the things that SACS says we can now do, we were doing. We were preparing students very well to go to 4-year institutions, and we had articulation agreements with a number of colleges and universities whereby our students could go seamlessly. Now, without a doubt, we're part of the STARS program, which is a part of the Alabama Community College system. So now our students can transfer seamlessly into. We're able to offer additional degrees. Now our students can receive those degrees that will lead them right into a 4-year institution. We did that piece in record time. College has to go through the candidacy period, and then you go forward and work. And it's typically a 2 to 3 year period. We went through candidacy, and we petitioned SACS to let us do this thing in 10 months, which typically takes 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
And so we did it. And it is the most incredible team at that college. They just get it done. Whatever is the charge, they get it done. And so I cannot even begin to take credit, because it is an absolute, wonderful, marvelous team. So that's what SACS does. It postures us equal to any community college in the country that's regionally accredited. And we're excited about that. And
That's a great honor.
we're excited.
I mean, it speaks it speaks volumes to not only your leadership, but also the type of people you've hired and the faculty.
When I tell you, it is a heck of a team. They
You sound excited about it, and that's so great.
They strengthen me. They push me. you know, it has to be right. It has to be right. I have to be on my, as the old folks said, P's and Q's,
P's and Q's.
with this crowd, because here again, you know, I mean, so many of them have pursued doctorates or in the process of pursuing doctorate degrees, and there's no requirement. They just, it's a culture that they've built there that says, why not? You know, why not?
Why not?
Why not get a terminal degree?
Okay, exactly.
And so that certainly postures the college to do an even better job for students. And we're just giving them every experience we can think of.
Every opportunity.
That just puts them in a posture. We just had a young man, one of our students who went this summer. He received a $10,000 scholarship, and he went and worked in the cybersecurity area. And he's one of our dual enrolled students. He was dual enrolled, which means that he was in high school and he was at Drake at the same time.
Oh my!
So he graduates in May with a degree from Drake and a high school diploma. And he spoke to the Alabama legislature, the only student representing the Alabama Community College system, and talked about the impact of dual enrollment on his life. And it saves money, and parents are excited about it, and across the country, we're talking about the value of that. And what it does, it prepares a worker, because companies need workers. They're wanting more and more workers.
Sure.
We can't get them out fast enough. But this means that this student is in high school and also taking courses at JF Drake.
Yes, yes. In talking, listening to you, you obviously have a great relationship with your students. Your students obviously are your customers as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, talk a little bit about that.
You know, I love students. I mean, I absolutely love them. Now, I'm tough on them.
Okay.
And I meet with students every semester.
Do you? Okay.
It's called the President's Chat or the President's Talk. And I go in intentionally with a blank notebook, because I want them to see that it's really, you know, what they want to tell me.
Okay.
Now, I say to them, this is not a time to complain about faculty or staff. The only person you can complain about today is me.
Okay.
Because I'm here to defend myself. But we have become a better college because we listen to students.
We listen, yes.
We listen to those students, and they have given us some remarkable feedback that I take immediately back to faculty and staff, share with them, give the students a response. And I tell them there's some things we can't do, but those things that will help make this college better, we do it. And I'm tough with them. I tell them all the time, we don't put up with foolishness on this campus.
Yes, yes,
You know?
I know you do.
We call the popo on you. Do what we have to do. And
Yes.
they are so good.
Good, good.
They are so good.
I'm excited about your relationship. I'm
I love
proud to have you on our show today. My producer has given me the sign that says, close it, Brenda, close it. And of course, you know, you and I can go on and on. We're going to have to certainly have you on again. But
I'd love to.
if you could just predict the future for the college, if you could summarize that, what would the future hold for JF Drake?
We're growing, so I anticipate more students. We don't want to become so big that we lose that common touch with students.
Sure.
The chancellor and I were talking about the fact that we can become too big. You know, we want to be at a size where we can work with students. I see multiple sites for us.
Okay.
And that's certainly in the works. We're ready to start a major building project on the main campus, which is located on Meridian Street.
Yes.
So I see additional programs. I see the staff, you know, increasing, because with more students, of course, we will add more faculty.
Staff, sure.
And we've just been fortunate to get some of the most incredible folks to work at our college. I might add that my most recent hire is Dr. Mary Jane Kaler.
Oh my goodness,
as
wonderful.
Dean of Workforce Development.
Is that right? Oh, our friend.
Absolutely.
And yes, and she's going to do a great job for you.
Absolutely. We're excited.
Yeah, because in fact, She hired
me.
you. She brought you here
Absolutely.
to Huntsville. What was that, in 1989? I remember when you
1989.
came.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
correct.
How about that?
She's our newest employee.
Your newest employee. How about that? Oh, what goes around comes around, doesn't it? In a good way.
Can you imagine?
In a good way.
That's right.
That's wonderful. I'll have to call her and congratulate her.
Do that.
I appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you so very much. Dr. Helen McAlpine, president of JF Drake State Community Technical College, has been my guest today. If you're looking to further your education, give them a call at 256-539-8161. And of course, they're located at 3421 Meridian Street here in Huntsville. That's our show for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brenda Martin for Inside Huntsville.